Ken Rosewell Arena, it is time to meet the teams. Can you please welcome to the court, firstly, Team Netherlands. David Pell, Demi Schurz, Eva Vera, Guy Den Olden, Suzanne Lemons, and Captain Tallon Griekspoor. And please welcome now their opponents for today's session, Team Poland. Led by their captain, Matusz Trzynski, Katarzyna Pita, Jan Zielinski, Daniel Michalski, Katarzyna Kawa, Hubert Hurkacz, and Igor Świątek. Tennis fans, if you are able, please be upstanding for the national anthems of the Netherlands and Poland.
Smiles on both sides. Netherlands know that there is no way that they could progress, but this is an important match for Griekspoor, you feel. Didn't play his best tennis against Sasha Zverev in his opening match, and he'll be looking to try and find a little bit of form in his final one here. As for the man in the middle there that's taken off his jacket, he was simply sensational. And it has been a long road back to full fitness for Hubert Hurkacz, and it was a shame as well because just before that problem that he sustained once again in Hertogenbosch, he'd just taken Djokovic to a final set breaker in Geneva, where Novak picked up his milestone title of a 100th career win. As we see the lucky mascot for the Poles of the Flamingo that will be present. There's Nicholas Massou, who's alongside Hubert Hurkacz. Proved to be a formidable partnership. perhaps just rose up the rankings a little bit later than he would have liked due to COVID. He was absolutely stunning on the Challenger Tour 4 years ago, picking up 8 titles in one season. He was actually on a 32-match winning streak at that particular level till he lost in Bordeaux last year in May. So see the nice smile as
we have Sasha with us for coin toss. Tallon, we have Sasha with us for coin toss. All good. Gentlemen, at the end of the coin toss, please stay with Sasha facing that way, all right? Just a couple of reminders. Towel people in the far corners, towel boxes in every corner. If you want to grab them yourself, up to you. Towel people will bring them to you. Serve clocks, side banners, back banners, and VR, please stop immediately for hindrance. The rest is reviewable at the end, all right? If you need anything or something wrong, let me know. Any questions?
All good.
All good? Sasha, you want to ask someone?
Teapot, which one you want?
Go for it, Sasha. That's good. Hey-ho. Serve.
Stay here.
Yep. And just a couple of photos.
I don't think that's going to come as a huge surprise to anyone, not even Sasha in the middle there, that Hubie decided to serve. He dropped 21 missiles past Zverev in his opening match. That's his second best ever over 2 sets in the course of his career. And I'm delighted to say Jim Courier alongside me. Jim, how impressed were you with Hurkacz's performance?
Almost as impressed as Nico Massou was. Massou has been doing the work with them on the day-to-day basis, and he knew that they'd had a good preseason, but still to put it into play in your first match back in over 6 months against the world number 3 and to be that good, it was pretty astonishing. And this will be a challenge for him. Griekspoor has been tough on him. Griekspoor does enjoy this matchup. There's something about it. We'll explain a little bit more as we get going what the particulars are, but certainly the challenge for both of these guys is going to be on the return of serve, because they both serve extremely well. Griekspoor at 29 years young, 188, and he's ranked right on the quarter at 25, so well positioned for a big challenge today.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's actually won titles in Pune on the hard, Hertogenbosch on the grass, and then won in Mallorca for his 3rd career title. He's actually probably will say that clay courts are his best surface, but he has yet to pick up a title on that particular surface for the time being. Griekspoor. This is a man that's won some big titles, but he has been hampered by that knee problem, as we say. Had the surgery on the 3rd of July. Talking to Nico, he's basically been in Europe. They've been doing some work down in Punta Romano in Spain. He's got a doctor that just lives around there that has been doing the rehab. He then went back to Poland. They've got some sporting excellence centre up in the mountains, which they all go to. He went there, did a bit of work there, went back down to Spain, played with Medjedovic a little bit in the practice before Jim heading over to Monte Carlo.
Yeah, and his ranking, because of missing 6 months, is down in 73, but he certainly did not play like it in his opening match versus Zverev.
Right, before we dig into this, we're going to go down to the Team Netherlands box. I'm in a different box this time, Suzanne. Last time I was actually, while I was watching you, was actually in Madrid. You were playing Emma Raducanu, and I was super impressed with how you played on that particular day. Congrats on the last kind of 18 months in your tennis. You've made some huge progress.
Yes, thank you. I think it was a good last 18 months. I went into the top 100, played all the main draw slams. So yeah, it's been great, and I'm happy to be here now with Team Netherlands in the United Cup.
Suzanne, it's Jim Courier calling. You're going to be taking the court playing Iga Swiatek after this one. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I mean, I played her in the US Open. I remember it was a great match, and I was playing very good, and I just lost 6-4 in the 3rd set. And I'm very happy to play her here again. I mean, she has a good level. It's a good match in the beginning of the year to play and see where my level is. So yeah, I'm excited to go on court.
Suzanne, you're obviously at 97 at the moment. You've been as high as 57. What do you feel like you need to do in your personal game to get yourself inside the world's top 50 this season?
I think, yeah, more attacking and more consistent in that. I like to run on the court, but sometimes I tend to do it a bit too much instead of stepping inside the court. And also, I think my serve can improve still. So, yeah, I'm working on that as well.
All right, well, we'll let you get focused on the task at hand. Good luck to you and your team today.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. We'll need the luck up here. I'm alongside Mark Petche. I don't have as good a teammate as Susan does.
No kidding. She's got a great attitude. Actually, you know, when you're fortunate enough to kind of go backstage on the tour, when you are coaching, you kind of get to sort of observe, be a little bit of a voyeur on the people that are kind of just getting on with it in a very understated way. You know, the ones that are not looking for the magic list, but they're just doing the ordinary things on the list incredibly well. I can tell you that Suzanne Lammons is one of those players that's just every day is punching the clock and coming out. Wish her all the best. I think everybody wishes Hurkacz the best, to be honest. Nobody likes to see an injury that potentially completely derails a career. Griekspoor's been a bit up and down with that. He's had a few over the course of his career. Abdominal strain last year, of course, that forced him to pull out his match against Zverev. Roland Garros, he's had some neck problems. He will have a problem returning the serve, and that's maybe, Jim, why the win predictor is giving Hurkacz the edge here.
It's hard when someone beats Zverev the way that Hurkacz did. It's going to be hard to say that he's not the favorite here. And you look at his head-to-head, he's won 3 of their 5 meetings, but they've been close. And certainly serving is going to be a huge component to this matchup. But once they get into the rally, that's where Tallon Griekspoor starts to like things a little bit more in this matchup than he would against someone who perhaps is a bigger, faster ball striker off the ground. One of Griekspoor's strengths is his ability to hit from a standing location, but movement is not his strength. Can Hurkacz move him once they're in rally enough to hurt him? We'll see. First things first, you've got to touch the ball to get into the rally. At one point, Hurkacz served 7 aces out of 8 points to finish the opening set against Zverev the other day. Just ridiculous again here out of the blocks.
Just a nice gentle 2:17 on the clock.
Does he have a perfect game to start? That's 3 so far.
That is absolutely elite. It's so effortless, it's so efficient.
4 first serves, 3 aces, and then a forehand winner to follow it. And when you're making serves at the speed he's making that last serve at 2:14, that's already difficult. But when you hit it within a couple of feet of these lines over 70% of the time, as he did against Zverev, well, that's unplayable. It really is. It's astonishingly good. Far above the norm you'll see on tour from an accuracy standpoint. That's getting up into the Djokovic levels of accuracy. So, good start for Team Poland. What do the Netherlands have to say about that? Griekspoor will get his chance now to serve it up.
Representing Team Netherlands, Tallon Griekspoor to serve.
In some ways, does it make the strategy coming into this match a little easier for Griekspoor, because it's about patience, waiting for an opportunity for Hurkacz to go through a slight lull, perhaps missing a few first serves? That your entire focus myopically is on your own service game and making sure that you don't make any silly errors.
Well, it certainly heightens the pressure that the Griekspoor is likely feeling, given he would be aware of Hurkacz's serving performance against Zverev. He'll know he'll need to take care of his business. And then he's probably going to need to deploy the guessing game on Hurkacz's serve and just start leaning towards corners on return. Ooh, no. This is the gimme.
Todd just made it out from the studio. I'm assuming, Todd, you wouldn't have minded Hubie's serve in your career.
Yeah, me, I would have had to have 2 boxes to stand on to get what it actually felt like to hit from those heights. Imagine, you only get good volleys, though, if you haven't got the serve. But how impressive was it in his opening match at the end of the first set? 8 aces out of 9 points in succession was quite extraordinary. I haven't had the privilege of hearing you two set this up just at the moment, but one of the key things that I feel for Griekspoor is to keep this type of tennis up. He has to come forward. He did that well against Zverev, and you have to build pressure and hang in there to get some scoreline pressure from 3-all into the back half of the set. If he can do that, it changes dramatically what we saw in Hurkacz's opening match.
What's the philosophy when you take on somebody like Hurkacz from the back of the court? It's easy to perhaps feel as though you just want to extend the rallies, but I feel, Jim, that could be a dangerous policy.
Well, I think the philosophy, if you're someone like Griekspoor, is maintain control of the rallies because he's far more comfortable playing offense than defense. But you got to wait. You've got to be patient because you can't go for too much because Hurkacz is a big man who has big range and covers the court well. And if you're patient enough, you'll get your chances because Hubie's not an offensive strike-minded ground stroker.
1 game over.
So it all depends on what your assets are. And Griekspoor wants to rock that forehand when they can, so he's got to set himself up for it. A little bit of chess to get to the knockout blow, right?
Yep. Mark Dijkhuizen is his good friend that's traveling with him. Tallon's decided to go coachless for a while.
Let's. So set.
Did you travel solo, Jim,
No,
in your career?
I didn't. I mean, occasional tournaments, but not for long stretches, no. I was one of the first players to deploy a 2-coach setup. I had Jose Higueras was my main coach back in Palm Springs, California, and then Brad Stein was the coach that was on the road with me. Brad's still out there doing a great job. He's with Tommy Paul. So we didn't get tired of each other the way that sometimes coaches and players just need breaks from each other if they're always together on tournament weeks and training weeks. Here's Nico Masu. He's part of a 2-coach setup as well with Ivan Lendl working from home with Hurkacz offering his input. Fairly common these days for players to have a couple of coaches to mix it up. It's awfully demanding for the coaches to be away from home as much as the players too. I'll have to tell you that, Petch. You were double dipping last year with coaching and commentating. I don't know how you survived, honestly.
Not entirely sure I did. good vision. It's a nice bit of hustle from Griekspoor, but just got there a touch late, couldn't find the response, and Hurkacz puts Team Poland up 2-1.
2 games, 2-1.
Good job.
Of course, many will be aware that he was with Dominic's team when Dominic was winning the US Open back in 2020. He is not actually just a superb coach, but he's also a lovely human being as well. He is on the road a lot with Hubie, spending all that time with him in the pre-season back over in Europe. Mateusz Tasinski is going to be doing a couple of weeks here and there for Nicholas when Nicholas goes back for Davis Cup for Chile in Santiago after the Australian swing. No question that some of the teams have been supported just a little bit better than others. Team Poland have had the vast array of the stadium on their side in their previous match, and the same can be said for today. Hugely popular here.
Time.
Tallon had a really good start to 2025, 27 wins, 13 losses. Very quiet in the second half of the season. Just the 4 wins and the 9 losses for the Dutchman.
Taylor.
Up in a very competitive household. His couple of twin brothers, 6 years ahead of him, both played tennis, both played the Futures Tour for a while. And just outside the world's top 200 when decided to hang up his rackets. These two with an affinity to F1 as well. Griekspoor enjoys watching it. Max Verstappen coming from that part of the world, and Hurkacz likes his supercars, as we know.
Well, it's one thing to like supercars. It's another thing to have access to them. And Hurkacz, I'm not sure if he still is a McLaren ambassador, but he has been at times in his life and would show up to tournaments like Indian Wells or Miami, and next thing you know, he's pulling into the player parking lot in a McLaren. Everyone else is driving a Cadillac.
How does he fit in one of those, by the way?
That's what I want to know.
Jim, he's got better shape on his shots these days, Hurkacz.
Well, he's changed rackets a little over a year ago, searching for a little more easy power and then a slightly wider string pattern, which would give him more topspin with the same shot production. The wider the strings, the more spin comes off of the string bed. And he is picked up some RPMs on his forehand and his backhand, and that's important because prior to that, he didn't have a lot of spin on his shot. Still doesn't have a ton. And that's why he's been known as a massage artist off the ground strokes. When you hit it flat, it's hard to play aggressively unless the ball's up really high because you don't have the spin that drops it back into the rectangle. It's a good change, I think. And I think it looks better now than this time last year he was just getting used to it.
Agree.
Game, Team Netherlands.
Rackets and swing patterns that you have are very interesting, because what looks good in somebody else's hand, or what works well perhaps with your technique, or even if you're tall like Hurkacz, where you're hitting down into the court rather than up, can be kind of the difference maker. You look at somebody like Stan Wawrinka using the Yonex, and he gets incredible spin off the one-hander, but that Yonex racket, which was of course what Hurkacz was using, wasn't giving him the same RPMs.
Oh, well, they're totally different swing paths. And break it down for just the person at home that's looking to get, let's say that they don't have enough power. What should they be looking for in a racket patch?
Basically trying to get a wider string pattern. They come at 18-20, but if you went to say 16-19, you're going to get a wider string pattern. You're going to get bigger gaps between the strings, and then obviously on top of that you would probably try and drop it down in tension. Probably wouldn't go to Manarino's level, the 10 kilo string pattern, because you're probably going to lose it long.
No, but the average string for the punter at home should be 18 kilos maybe?
Yes.
20 kilos at the most.
Yep.
Get a wide beam racket that gives you a lot of easy power, then get a wide string pattern that gives you a lot of spin. And you should be able to take more aggressive swings at the ball while maintaining control. That's basically the secret sauce that even the pros are looking for. Get as much help as you can from your racket. The technology has changed immensely, even just in the last 10 years.
If there's one thing I would also say to anyone at home that is interested in that sort of thing, get a hybrid of polyester as well. Don't necessarily play with the same polyester. Get a softer one, get a harder one, and actually string your kind of mains maybe a kilo tighter or half a kilo tighter than your crosses, and you're going to get a slightly bigger sweet spot as well. This man is permanently in the sweet spot when it comes to serving. Nice little body serve, and it is 3-2.
Team Poland leads 3 games to 2.
Down here in Sydney, an awful lot to do. Obviously, we talk a lot about the beaches and all of those things and the fine dining, but of course you can get out there into the nature, the wild horses of snowy mountains, roaming freely. But of course, not far away is always the beach, the Blue Mountains, also famous for the Three Sisters, which you can see right there in the spectacular Wentworth Falls. 140 k's of walking trails. Make sure you take your GPS, and there you can see the sandstone and clay dunes. Looks a little bit like landing on the moon. If you've ever been to Namibia, that's exactly what it looks like.
All systems go here on day 7 at the United Cup in Sydney. Ken Rosewall Arena, Jim Courier, Mark Petchey, Todd Woodbridge courtside. We got it covered all around. And let me be one of the first, at least on air, to congratulate you on your new podcast, the T Podcast for Tennis Channel, with Andrea Petkovic, Brad Gilbert, Coco Vandeweghe. That's an exciting new development.
Yeah, the first episode I think is coming out tomorrow. So
all right, and away you go.
Put the tin hat on.
Well, you guys should be able to go deep on racket technology and string technology. I know in talking to Nico Massou that Hurkacz has shifted his setup on that Wilson racket. Even from last year, he's using Wilson gut in the mains. He's using a poly string made by Luxilon, but a softer version of that in the cross. And the reason you use gut is it gives you a little more pop, and then the softer string, just a little bit less on your arm. But there are infinite combinations available. But one of the big things that's happened in the last decade or so is how much lighter the rackets are that the pros are using. And that's enabling them to generate so much racket head speed to create the power. And that's why one of the big reasons why the game has continued to get faster and faster out here. Strings help them control the speed coming off of those light frames.
30-11.
Just one last thing. Where can I find that podcast? Just wherever I get my podcast, it'll be out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be across the board of all of those
Everywhere
things. It's going to be
globally?
on. It's going to be on YouTube as well. Yeah,
Great. So
Spotify.
that'll take care of what, a good hour a week for me to get caught up on everything I need to know.
I don't know, Jim. You got to listen to it first.
I'm bullish.
That is the plan, though, with that, just saying that, talking about these things, because obviously once we're in the match, it can get a little bit much when you dig in a little bit too much. I mean, you're absolutely right about rackets. I've been talking to somebody that I really respect in the industry, and he said one of the things that he's feeling is that a lot of people are looking at Sinner and Alcaraz who are going down to sort of the 300-gram kind of weights in their racket, and that's potentially what's causing some of the arm issues out there, because everyone's kind of dropping weight and the balls are getting heavier. And trying to move the ball with a lighter racket is potentially contributing to some of the injury that these players are having.
Well, Alcaraz notably added 5 grams more to his frame this time last year to start the season. And it did take him a little bit of time to get used to it. But if you look at his results from Q2 on last year, he was almost unplayable.
Game, Team Netherlands.
As things continue to move quite comfortably for the servers here, Alcaraz began to get more comfortable power coming off of his racket, because when you go from 300 or 310 to 305 or 315 in that weight, you don't have to swing as hard to get the ball to move. And he was talented enough to make that adjustment, and you might see some players do that to avoid injury.
I want to say that the Bulls are going to be at their oldest, which of course they will be at this stretch of just 7 games. But the fact that we've not had too many rallies between these two will suggest that they're still flying through the air fairly swiftly. Todd, did you have any sort of thoughts heading into a match with a massive server about what you're going to try and do?
Well, I mean, for me, I think Tallon's done well. Get this to 3-all. Hold your own serve is crucial, particularly when you're coming up against Hurkacz. You've just got to hang in there until you get your opportunity, but you've got to do that by the scoreline. So I thought he's done well. I mean, it's one of those things. You've got to not put too much pressure on yourself when you get the opportunity to face his second serve. But that is really your only chance, the way he's been serving so far in this tournament.
He's virtually not missed a first serve, so Griekspoor doing what he can. But the service games from Hurkacz raining down in the same fashion that they were when he took on Zverev.
Boys, I thoroughly enjoyed that bit of conversation talking about strings and rackets, and it brought back a memory of mine going into a Wimbledon doubles final, and with Jonas Bjorkman taking on Max Mirny and Mahesh Bhupathi. They had big serves, and I actually thought I had to put more weight into the racket and put extra on the side just to be able to block the return back. But what I forgot was that it was going to affect my serve. I'd had a bad serve, and I lost my first 2 service games in the final, down 15-40 in the next one, hung on, and then I sat very delicately next to Jonas and pulled the lead tape back off. And then ended up playing well for the rest of the match. So don't fiddle too much during the tournament, okay?
Yeah, that's good advice. And a nice little humble brag reminding us all about your many Wimbledon finals.
Swiatek and Hurkacz to some degree have really pushed tennis to the forefront back home in Poland. Of course, soccer's always going to be the biggest sport, but they certainly raised the profile of this great sport back home. As we raise you up once again over the Ken Rosewall Arena. This is where the action will unfold as we go towards finding out who will be crowned the 4th United Cup champion.
So far, very difficult for the receiver to win points against the serve. Griekspoor, well, he's only won 1 point so far against Hurkacz. Hurkacz, for his part, has won 4, but no one has threatened to break a serve just yet. And frankly, that's a little win. Just getting the return in play so far this game, this match. First serves have been almost unplayable off of both rackets today. Unreal. Hurkacz is doing a better job of making returns, but look at those numbers when Hurkacz makes a first serve. I mean, that is bananas. 40% unreturned is pretty darn good in general.
Well, I've got to say, it's pretty sticky down here on the court today. It's quite hot already. It's just around 31 degrees out in Homebush, where Ken Rosewall Arena is, and it's got about 50% humidity. The humidity is more in the stadium here too, because we've got the covered roof and a lot of people, no air conditioning. So the conditions are leaning towards these short points as well.
That was a dangerous play from Griekspoor. Drops the pace on the serve coming in. I mean, Hurkacz had a long time to line up that return. It's a sweet hit, don't get me wrong. Griekspoor forgetting the split step so that he could actually sort of go and lunge. Potentially just ran through the spot where he should have hit the split step. Gone full Stefan Edberg here, Griekspoor.
And that escalated quickly.
15-14.
Rightfully lauding all the great serving and the challenges for the returners, and all of a sudden Hurkacz, with the new balls no less, has created an opportunity for himself. It's got to feel like set point against you if you're Griekspoor right about now. How well Hubie's serving.
Oh, that is incredible. The balance, the poise.
Team Poland leads 5 games.
His lack of location on the approach shot, so he offered up the opportunity, but this was still a 9 on the degree of difficulty, going up to 10. What an awesome shot at a great time from Hurkacz. And he's 4 points away from the opening set.
Unbelievable discipline in his rehab as well, according to everybody that was around him. Did not miss a session in the gym for the entirety of the time. That is some silky skills. And understandably we focus on his serve, but he is much, much more than that. What movement from Griekspoor.
And what racket work as well when Griekspoor has to get up. Look how deep he was. I could see from the side angle here that, and that was very clever. This is my view. That was brilliant.
14-15.
Double set point. That is a clean kill.
Team Poland.
Flawless set of tennis once again from Hurkacz. That's been the theme of his 2026. He's going to be a menace.
Definition of the dangerous floater in the draw with his ranking. Unseeded he will be at the Australian Open. And it's just going to be a challenge if he keeps playing with this kind of confidence in his service game. It just frees up the rest of his game, and some interesting choices to serve and volley on a second serve. And that 4-3 game, that cost him, and then followed it up with a first serve and volley, and Hurkacz was there for it, took it, and then ran right through the tape. That was a fast first set. A little under 26 minutes or so.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with the left-hand side of that graphic whatsoever. There's not a lot wrong with the right-hand side from Griekspoor's perspective. Right now, he's just going to be hoping that Hurkacz starts missing a few first serves and can then insert a little bit of doubt, because otherwise he's going to just simply have to guess on the return. And anything less than perfection on the serve is going to get punished. Jim, the knee surgery that he had obviously last year once again was.
Are you just going to ignore the flamingo that's in the front of our picture?
I did mention it earlier in it. Apparently it's got its own Instagram kind of page.
Okay,
and
I just want to be respectful of the flamingo. We want to give it its due, and then we'll get to this guy.
Yeah, it kind of came in last year, didn't it, for Team Poland. Iga didn't even actually know how it's made its way back to their bench. She was unaware that how it found its way.
It was probably in storage here somewhere at Ken Rosewall Arena.
Oh dear. It migrated down from the northern hemisphere. Yeah, but the knee injury that he obviously sustained it firstly, didn't he, at Wimbledon 2024 against Arthur Fils on diving on the grass.
Yeah, I think it was on match point, was it? Unbelievably. He's like he slipped, got up, and then slipped again, dove, and that's when he injured it. Tragic, really. Great to see him back now, though.
He was with Craig Boynton at that particular time, who was his coach, who has now slipped into carrying Riley Opelka's bag in 2026.
Yep. That'll feel familiar. Craig spent so many years working with another player that height, John Isner.
That is some response. I thought that was the perfect forehand from Griekspoor.
15.
Now the forehand, I remember talking to Craig Boynton for years about Hurkacz's forehand and asking him, how can you make it more of a weapon? And perhaps this racket switch has been the catalyst for it, but he's hitting some big ones today. His forehand speed this tournament's up about 5 kilometers an hour from what it was with the other racket. That's a big jump. Yeah. It's bringing him more in line with the tour average.
I think he's also, Jim, improved his returner serve. So he's got an adjustment where we saw in that last point where it's just a rotation of the shoulders, short swing, and getting the ball back deep to be able to use a bigger forehand next. So that I think that is something he seems to have worked a lot on. Because in past years he had quite a big grip adjustment, or if you went there quickly he had a western grip and he couldn't quite make it enough returns. It was a more dodgy side for him but he's certainly improved.
Well, this is a stress test now for the Netherlands. 30 all in this opening service game, and a second serve for Hurkacz to work on. Wow, that is some clean hitting. Griekspoor finds the line with 2 consecutive shots.
Look how long the left arm stays on the throat of the racket there to get the upper body rotation.
Yeah, it's a lovely swing. I love how fluid it is once he goes in motion. The racket just is on its way to the target, no break.
That time the venture to the net did work out nicely for Griekspoor. And a step in the right direction early on in the second set for Team Netherlands. They're not digging into the tablets that the teams have in terms of being able to look at some of the data. The problem is, I think, is that Hurkacz is one of those players that has such a beautiful blend with his first serve that there's not really anything that is overwhelmingly sort of in favour out wide or down the tee on the big moments. He definitely feels as though he's very instinctive as he steps up to the line to serve.
Yeah, which at this stage, given Griekspoor's lack of any kind of traction in a return game, it's time to go to the casino and start gambling. He should just be picking one side that he's going to be looking for the serve in and giving away the other side. For example, cover the wide serve here, give up the tee. And if he hits it tee, too good, because you haven't won a point yet when he's made a first serve. 17 for 17 when Hurkacz makes a first serve.
Another look, as Jim's been saying, of second serves, but he went downtown to return that. But obviously it's a long hit, and you could see he hadn't quite got his sights in play there because he just clipped the top of the net, but he is trying to do something different.
All right, so there he was leaning to the tee. That's good. That's what he needs to do here, because you don't have to get every one right. You just need to get it right in one game.
There's a slightly deflated look over to his team box there from Griekspoor, because that was probably the perfect return they talked about, and then catch inside out, backhand down the line.
What's interesting though is that when he runs onto that forehand, though, he is running backwards into the corner. He doesn't cover it particularly well, so his body weight's going back. He's going deeper into the court, and that's putting quite a bit of pressure on that side. So Hurkacz goes in there quickly and back in behind quickly. He's doing well with that.
Team Poland.
And as much as we always talk about players trying to maneuver their sort of return position, as you can see there in terms of first serve return points, 1-0 for Griekspoor. Jim's just highlighted that. It obviously takes you at times a little bit out of rhythm yourself, because you're going back, waiting for the ball, different kind of footwork pattern, and suddenly you're up and you don't have as much reaction time. No solutions yet for Griekspoor.
Taylor.
was a good concept, and it was going to win him the point if he made the drop shot. He went behind Hurkacz, whose wheels spun out as he tried to change direction there. But the net's undefeated, except for the top of the tape. So 15-all is the score.
Oh, Todd, talk me through that.
Well, gee, we've seen some amazing hands and racket head control from Griekspoor. We saw that point earlier, but watch this here. He does so well staying with it and knows where the racket face is. He shuts it down here off the backhand to control it. But see where his body weight keeps going? He's committed to that shot even though it was so difficult, and that's the key to it. Right there, that was a fantastic feel. A lot of players would get caught hitting the ball, stopping and propping upwards, and that won't give you that result.
The other bit about it I loved was the fact that on contact with the strings, his racket went backwards. You know, he was just so delicate with it. It was almost like he was handling a grenade with the pin out. 2-1.
Niet zeg maar tussenin maken, want dan krijg je dit. Dan wordt het 2 punten, weet je. Dat is een rally, maar ja. We hopen dat hij een bal gemist. Ja, een stuk goed gedaan. Ja. Laat ze niet dat die man eens gaat missen de hele tijd. Weet je, leg dan ook weer de naam op het lijntje. Je hebt geen andere hoek weg. Schuif hem lekker weg. Je kan hem een keer beter missen dan dat je echt lekker zit. En dan de andere wel maken en dan hoog van. Goede games man, goede games. Laatste game stoppen. Ja. Net als je hem pakt, zou ik hem laten horen.
Ja, wat?
Dat je met een als je hem even niet 0,5 en 5 blijft, maar je echt laat horen dat je er bent.
Ja, dan moet je hem wel krijgen.
Ja, maar ja, als je hem past. Ja. Gewoon laten zien, ik ken je, weet je.
Daarom deze game al iets luider.
Ja, dat is goed. Dat is goed.
Sometimes when you're sitting there with your player like that in that situation, that is all about just trying to keep their energy and enthusiasm for the battle high. They're not doing anything wrong. There's not an awful lot that they can do, but you are just trying to continually infuse them with confidence that there are better days ahead and to stay optimistic out there, because it would be pretty easy for him to be a little forlorn at the moment. There's not been too much agility in his game, or brittleness. It's just been that Hurkacz has been absolutely mesmerising once again. Just over 40 minutes gone. He's only dropped 5 unforced errors, the pot.
But he continues to drop the hammer on the first serve. Just incredible rhythm from Hubie on that discipline. No sun, no wind, no elements to worry about here. Really great serving conditions, and he is reveling in them. Here's Griekspoor very deep again for this return.
Just one of those special points that you get through an Australian summer of tennis.
How about a little lob overhead drill? Should we do that? Should we try that? Shades of Paul Harhoos and Jimmy Connors, 1991 U.S. Open.
Iconic.
Roles were reversed. The Dutchman was the one hitting the overheads. Connors doing the lobbing, and eventually getting the crowd on their feet.
Jim, do you like him going back?
Ball too low.
Second serve return's not really the one I'd be worried about, to be honest. He's not benefiting from it so far. I don't mind him trying different things, but I don't know that he's adept at it. I would say not so far. What do you think?
Honestly, I'd like to see him go back on the first.
Well, yeah, that would be something different. Yeah. We're talking about the second, obviously.
Yeah, no, I just feel as though he's actually going to the wrong one. I almost feel like you've got to try and just upset the rhythm a bit and try. I would rather he went back to the LED board on the first. It is very interesting, like being with players, obviously being fortunate to be around. Somebody like Andy Murray didn't love going deep on the court because he loved his deep, dynamic split step. And you don't get that when you go back. You actually basically hitting a ground stroke from the back of the court. And so if you haven't been practicing it or it doesn't feel comfortable, it's not an option that you can take on.
Oh, let's throw it down into Todd Woodbridge. He's in Poland's team zone.
I am. I got Matthias, the captain, in here, and this has been a very impressive match so far. It's incredible how well he's come back after a break.
Yeah, I mean, he's put a lot of work. The last 7 months were really difficult for him, and he's been practicing well, but we are really, happy how he's executing it on the match court. That would be the most difficult part. So, yeah.
Talk us through the tactics when you know he's going to hold serve so well, and then about building pressure to get the break of serve.
Well, we keep reminding him to keep his focus and be there on every point, because that's really crucial, especially after a long break. So yeah, this is our main goal, to motivate him and just maintain him so he's focused on every point. Yeah.
Is he hard to motivate because he has that sort of relaxed, slow feel about him?
No. It's not very hard, but we just have to keep reminding him, to stay really focused. Yeah.
Well, beautiful point there. We'll let you get focused and back to it. Thank you for chatting to us, Matthias.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
That's going to do a little bit of travelling with this man. That will be a lot of fun. He's got some of the best trick shots out there, Hurkacz. If you go back and have a little look on the internet about some of the shots that he's pulled out of the bag, some incredible tweeners. Hasn't had an awful lot of success when he served that one into that backhand, and has just slightly missed the spot. You've seen Hurkacz just lean in on it. Smart money would be on a serve from Griekspoor out wide. I would advise him not to come in behind it. He got enough pace on the serve down the tee.
40-13.
Can he find another first serve and shut the door on any ambition that Hurkacz has got to get another break in this match? He does. Forehand flies long. And Griekspoor for a third time in the second puts his service game to bed. They are digging into the tablet this time around, trying to find perhaps just a little pattern of play that can help Griekspoor. Anything to give him a little bit of jump on the return. talking of returns, look at, I think we've got a little look at here. I just want to show you Hurkacz's return position. That bit's fine. You can see him just kind of wandering. Look at his hands when he ends up dropping them down. See how it goes down?
Yep.
And then he has to pick it up again to come up and beat the...
like a divining rod.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But it's an unnecessary move down, which I think at time hampers him. Massive need for pep talks for this man. Last title coming in Estoril on the clay again, just a little underlining of just how versatile Hurkacz can be in terms of his tennis.
Time.
Obviously does prefer the quicker surfaces, but he is still very proficient on the slower ones.
Guys, obviously I just had that chance to chat into the player zone there, but one of the things when I watch Hubie play is that obviously he holds serve so easy. I find sometimes in those first couple of points on his return game, he's not as intense as he possibly could to win that first point and build pressure. He's kind of laconic and he goes around waiting for just that moment, but he could build so much more pressure on some of the return games, and perhaps that's something that we can keep an eye on.
Oh, he misses the volley, but that was a change on the second serve return from Griekspoor, standing in and taking it early, and boy, was he in that point in a big way. That should be the way forward for him, at least in the short term, if he sees some second serves. That's suggested on the ad court as well. So he's going to stand in here as well. That's, I think, a good move. After 4 shots in that rally, he was even, and then Hurkacz separated. Here's where he's been returning from on the second serves so far today, and those ones up front, well, those are the last 2 returns he's hit. Everything prior to that was about 5 meters or further back off of the baseline, and he wasn't having a whole lot of success there either.
That is the first point that he's taken against the first serve of Hurkacz.
That's just the 3rd point overall that Hurkacz has conceded on serve today.
Make that 4. Interesting in this game, a little flexing of the left knee from Hurkacz. Of course, the surgeries he's had has been on the right.
This is the first time there's been any kind of tension in a Hurkacz service game. 30 all. Ace number 12.
It's unlucky. Definitely shows promise for Griekspoor. Jim, talk us through it.
Well, he's got the step-up service motion, that ball toss quite far in front so he can lean in and pound it. Really nice full extension and pronation. And then he brings that right side around and he's ready to D up immediately if there's a good return.
The things about the lighter rackets as well, that's kind of come into modern tennis, isn't it? The ability to stop it on the follow through. When you had a 400-gram wooden racket, there was no stopping that momentum on the way through on the left side of your body.
30 left.
Quite a big jump forward as well. We were talking about how he lowers his hands on the return and then has to pick the racket head up to kind of come up to meet the ball, which it feels as though it's something that he does in terms of a rhythm, but isn't really necessary. But he's got a big jump forward as well, quite high in the air, Hurkacz, when he goes to return. He's got to time that split perfectly. See there, even though the serve's out, he's just a little bit late with it. I think the smaller you can actually make that jump and keep your feet off the closer to the ground, the better it is. Less effort through a course of a 5-set match on the men's side, and your feet are more in contact with the ground to be able to push. Hurkacz is arguably the best ever in terms of that.
Let's go, Hubie. Come on. Come on.
Griekspoor slammed his towel down on the side of his team bench after that point. Not quite enjoying, even though he's up 40-30, not quite enjoying the tension in this game.
And a beautiful return set up the opportunity for the pass. Couldn't capitalize on it as he did in the opening set. And we continue to wind our way through the second set here on serve, 4-3.
Here's that Hurkacz return we're talking about. Watch how his hands go down. You pointed this out again. It's just inefficient, isn't it? Because now he has to get the racket back up to the level of the ball, and that's taken precious time away from the preparation for the return. There's microseconds, milliseconds that he's losing, and those matter when you only have about 0.6 of a second to react to a serve coming your way.
The other thing to add to that, Jim, as I've been watching closely courtside, is that he has two grip changes. He starts with a continental grip off the forehand side, off the right hand, and that's sort of like shaking hands with the racket. Then he sits it back into Western, but then when the ball comes and it comes to his backhand side, he changes it again. He'd be far better off starting with a neutral grip on the right hand and use the left hand for his backhand. I think that would improve it dramatically. But at the moment, he's got two grips going, and that causes inconsistency.
Hurkacz's serve been perfect. The return that been chatting about throughout the course of this match is certainly an area for him that he needs to perhaps just try and make some small gains. There's been very few major champions on the men's side that have managed to pick up a major with a return game stat of under 20%. Roddick managed it, of course, when he won the US Open.
That stat is the breaking serve percentage, right?
Yes.
So breaking less than 20% of the time?
In your career. Goran Ivanisevic, of course, back in 2001, he had a career return one stat of 18%. He was one of the few outliers. So for somebody like Hurkacz, of course, the strength is a big thing, but just being able to elevate return games won will be important for him if he wants to get through to a final or potentially win a major. 30% in terms of return games won last year. Hurkacz, of course, it was a truncated season because of the knee problem that he had. When you have somebody serving as big as Hurkacz is, I actually like what Griekspoor did in the other one. Just, you said it, Jim, go to the casino, just swing, blocking the return and making a quantity of returns. I don't think troubles Hurkacz. He has too much time for his +1 shot. He'll miss one maybe again, but he's certainly not going to miss enough.
Game, Team Holland.
He's the type of player, Hurkacz, when he's serving this way, it'd be quite easy if you're Griekspoor to be really mad at him. Like, this is really boring. I'm not enjoying this. But how can you get mad at Hurkacz? The guy's such a nice guy.
Yeah. Do you feel that helped you in your career when you perhaps didn't love the person down the other end of the court?
Didn't swing it one way or the other for me. You? I mean, I had
other issues.
Well, you definitely haven't solved your anger issues, that's for sure.
Oh, good hands. I didn't like anybody.
Huh?
Still don't.
Why are you talking in the past tense?
This is a really good crisp volley off that net cord, though, and that's something else for our viewers at home. You're playing and you're at net, maybe singles or doubles. If you get a let cord, get your racket up, because that's where the ball goes. Very rarely does it go down. So many people go the wrong way. So if you want to reflex it, get your racket head going up immediately.
Let's go.
Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Well worth the low 5. Hurkacz, I thought he was going to go for the tweener, but it was high enough. He caught it on the rise. He was trying to catch Griekspoor out, I think, and trying to take it early. You look at this. Goes back there. That's exactly what he did. Credit to Griekspoor.
Well, I've been so impressed by his ability down low. He has just made some terrific half volleys and what we call soft hands. He's got this ability to take the pressure off the grip when he has to make those half volleys and soft, delicate drop shots like the point before. Great stuff.
It's been really impressive. Hasn't put a foot wrong in this second set on serve. No way through for Hurkacz. 5-4. Todd, did you get your coaches to feed you half volleys? I was just thinking about that beautiful half volley that we just saw from him.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things I think a lot of this era player can do is actually practice your skill sets. And I always used to practice a lot of difficult shots, bounce smashes. You don't see many people work on that sometimes. And yes, anything in and around the service line. But when you worked with a great coach like Tony Roach, he had you practicing your volleys from the service line. So you were getting everything thrown at you. You had hard balls, soft, delicate shots coming forward. You had to be creative, and many players just practice close to the net, and that's the difference of what we were taught as Aussies. We were taught to make the hard volleys easy.
Mercury a touch hotter than it is back in the Netherlands. right now. We're up around 30 degrees, 85, depending on what your money is. We take another look at that little slide there. That's another massive change over the last sort of 20 years or so. The player's been able to slide on a hard court. Hurkacz had two choices right there. Does he let it come back down, or does he try and catch Griekspoor out? Even he was surprised at how good that was.
Well, he was having fun in that point. Jim mentioned not having a lot of fun there for a while, but that certainly is fun when you can have those types of moments and both players enjoying it with the little 5 there. And now we're back to no fun.
Well, that's we've seen the low 5. That's the 1-5. 15th ace for Hurkacz. Chasing 21 like he had against Zverev. Nice two-hander from Griekspoor.
15.
Committed to the attack. Guesses correctly. He was leaning on that serve. Good deep return. Nice second, fourth shot combo from him.
Sweet 16.
15.
Almost averaging 2 aces a game is Hurkacz. That softens the beach, doesn't it?
40.
215 out wide. It's going to solve a lot of problems. Nothing you can do about that. Untouchable.
He's on 2 a game now, exactly.
And you talked about rhythm on serve a few games ago, and what's so impressive when you're up close with him is there's absolutely no tension at all at any stage. You know, a lot of players, you'll see Griekspoor get up to serve here, and he gets you know, set, and you can see a bit of tension in the shoulders as he prepares, and most players do, but you've got Hubie out there, just everything's loose and it's so fluid, and Jim mentioned the pronation. That makes that so much easier when there's just, it's flowing like it is.
15. Very loud.
Four aces for Team Netherlands so far today.
Next, that's it.
Hurkacz did an incredible job of surviving the first shot after the serve from Griekspoor there to stay in the rally, and then great discipline not to try and torch the forehand. And he got his reward. Over 60% humidity today in Sydney.
For serve.
Well, not the best of points there in terms of shot selection from Griekspoor, but you know, something that's crossed my mind sitting here at the moment is, you know, when you go back to the beginning of the match and you go to the coin toss, and if you win it, when you're playing a big server, you should always serve first, because when you get to the back ends of the set, like what happened in the first, it's so much better to be like here with Griekspoor 5 or get up 6-5, hang on, you're in front, you can build a little pressure.
Another big first serve. Ices the game for Griekspoor as he heads back to his ice towel. 6-5.
6 games to 5.
If you think about it, there's nothing worse than, you know, coming out if you haven't got a big serve and then you're always serving to stay in it and you're under relentless pressure. So for Griekspoor here, that advantage of serving first in this set is at least giving him a bit of leeway when he comes back out now for the Hurkacz serve to level and potentially take it to the tie-break.
Just trying to cool down the cogs in that brain of his. Let's take you back east to the Harbour Bridge. Of course, this is the largest harbour in the world, and it is truly spectacular. The Manly ferries that can whip you around. A lovely archipelago, and yep, over 240 kilometres of shoreline in the Sydney Harbour. Perhaps the best time of day is just as the sun is setting. United Cup in its 4th edition. Team Poland would dearly love to win it this year, and for Hurkacz this is a perfect revival of his career after the injury to get some matches in these circumstances. He will probably be feeling, given the fact that he hasn't had a lot of competitive tennis though, and just trying to protect the body at this part of the season, that a couple of sets would be enough. So the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes is going to be very important for Hurkacz. And just a reminder, if you are just joining us as well, that Team Poland need just the one win to secure a place today in the quarterfinals. They do not need to win the tie, and in fact just putting 3 sets on the board would also be good enough for them. The Netherlands are out.
But plenty still to play for. Lots of ranking points and prize money, as well as momentum as they head into the season's first major. So Griekspoor is fully locked in here, trying to send this to a 3rd set. Standing in close on this second serve return once more, Griekspoor. And good response from Hurkacz. Takes advantage of Griekspoor being well inside that baseline after the return and just directs it cross court. Good enough to get to 30 love.
Griekspoor made it through to the 4th round of the French last year before having to pull out of his match with Zverev with the ab injury. He's not made it past the 3rd round in Australia. Made that particular stage in 23 and 24. Hoping that with the benefit of the seeding, he could potentially make it a little bit further. Missed out back in 2022 on what would have been something that he would have savoured, because pre-Australian Open 2022. He was slated to play against Nadal in the warm-up tournament in Melbourne. Unfortunately, an infection to his toe stopped him from stepping onto court with his idol. And never got the opportunity to play the Spaniard. Poorly located first serve.
1-0.
And that might be enough.
Team Poland.
Well, Hurkacz never faced a break point en route to this scenario here, but he'll be facing all kinds of mini break points now. Let's see if that impacts his sweet rhythm on the first serve that he's been carrying all tournament long.
Two, 4.
2-0.
Out of the gun.
Team Poland.
Yeah. Doesn't look as though it's changed too much of anything. He's just decided to press the a different red buzzer to the one that they got in the team zones, the nuclear one.
Yeah, well, I think those McLaren cars have more than 5 gears, don't they? I think he's climbing. And getting closer to the finish line here. The checkered flag not far away. Let's see if Griekspoor can put a stop to that momentum, though.
Oh, what a shot. No room for error. Had to deliver, and he did.
3-1. Team Poland.
Now that you could kiss this match goodbye if he misses this one. Going down 4-love with Hurkacz serving the way he is, he'd have no chance, but he delivered big time. This forehand on the outer edge of the line. And another second serve opportunity now for Team Poland to try and secure that second mini break. Hurkacz a little deeper for this return. And can't find it. It's a good 2-point sequence for the Netherlands, just staying close by. Now needs to find a way to somehow get a return in play. And he's back in business, is Griekspoor.
3-0.
Just driving flat ground strokes deep. And eventually Hurkacz tries to go with the short angle and just overcooks it.
Well, this is the pivotal time for Hurkacz. He really hasn't been under any pressure whatsoever, and then it all piles on in this tiebreak, point by point. Whereas Griekspoor at the other end, he's felt like this the entire match, so he's already in that groove.
It wouldn't be Hurkacz's toughest loss on this particular court, because of course that came back in 2024. They were 1-0 up, Team Poland, before he took on Sasha Zverev. Had a couple of championship points for Team Poland. He would dearly love to win this competition with Iga. They eventually went down in the deciding mixed doubles in a match tiebreaker due to the heroics from Zverev. Normal service resumed.
4-3.
Last year, runners up to the USA. To the acclaim of his team, he has come away and stolen such a valuable point. Incredible dig to get the lob into play to start with, and then Griekspoor just couldn't find the acceleration on the overhead. Two long extended rallies, and he pinches both of them. Once again underlining his caliber. Don't get to 6 in the world without being something a little bit special, and he's shown it there. Any one of these next 3 points will put Team Poland into the quarterfinals of the United Cup.
Let's first.
Go.
Team Poland. One of his finest returns of the match from Griekspoor. Allows him to keep dreaming. But fittingly, it's another ace delivered by Hurkacz as he delivers the vital point to put Team Poland into the quarterfinals. Successive matches in a couple of sets with 21 aces. Phenomenal.
Yep. Not sure if he's a casino dweller, but that's blackjack, my friends. 21 for Hurkacz. 2 consecutive matches he's dropped 21 aces here, and he has gotten his career back up and running after a long spell on the shelf. Surgery last July. His last contested match was in June prior to this tournament, and he is absolutely rightfully loving it, and so is his team into the quarterfinals.
There's been a couple of times in the last 2 years perhaps he wasn't able to do what he wanted, and when you take away something from somebody, something they absolutely love, it certainly can be a difficult thing. Todd with Hubie.
Congratulations, Hubie. A lot of happy people in your player zone, but also in the support that you have here in the Polish fans, because that means that you have qualified into the quarterfinals. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for being here, and just so much fun to play in front of you guys and get so much support. I hope you guys enjoying some tennis, and of course the box there, out there, all the team supporting. It's really amazing event.
Now, you must be very happy with the way that you've started this season. Obviously, you had that time off. First match was good, but you back it up again today with fabulous serving.
Yeah, definitely, didn't know how I'm going to start the season. Haven't played for 7 months, so you don't really know what to expect. I was playing okay on the practice, but practice is so different from the match when you have so many emotions, you have fans around, and I'm quite positively surprised and pleased with the performance out there.
What does it feel like to come back after that amount of time when you're unsure what your body might do? And then the nerves. Have you felt the nerves? Because it hasn't looked like it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of after such a long period, you're just so excited together, and I think also gives you different perspective on things, and I think that's why I'm able to perform maybe better and even stay calm in the difficult moments.
Well, a lot of your fans are of Polish descent. They're Australians. They're here to support you. How do you think they're going to go when you come up in the quarterfinals against Australia and Alex de Minaur? Let's talk about that.
Well, hope you guys, gonna come out strong. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun battle with, of course, playing Aussie here. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be probably packed. So can't wait for the challenge.
It will be packed, no doubt about that. Iga's coming up next. We'll let you get back and get your recovery underway. Well played today, Hubert Hurkacz, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Actually was a feature of Hurkacz prior to him having to go off tour for a while. Some of the epic matches that he had, because so many of his sets would go to a tiebreaker. There'd be match points won, match points lost. I can remember a couple of years ago, Kokkinakis against Hurkacz. I think it was 5 match points for the Australian, who thankfully is also making his return to tennis this week up in Brisbane after some tough times. So maybe that perspective he was talking about is going to hold him in good stead when he gets back into some of those situations. But he was magnificent today. He is one of the most likable players out there. The Australians will take on Team Poland on Friday night here in Sydney. Alex de Minaur has a 2-1 record. In fact, he beat him in Indian Wells last year.
Well, you're going to have one of the game's great servers against one of the game's great returners in Alex de Minaur. So Demon will need to play the way he did last night and keep that momentum, because you certainly have to favor Iga Świątek against Maya Joint in the women's singles there. Here are the numbers. It was so impressive. Hurkacz with 9 unforced errors and just countless winners, including 21 aces once again. Just a very high level of tennis as he returns to the tour. Griekspoor, he played awfully well when he could. He just didn't get a lot of returns in play because he was looking at some genius serving coming down the track for him. But he looks like he's going to have a nice season as well. And we will look forward to seeing Iga Świątek and Susan Lemons here coming up shortly. Yeah,
I'm actually really looking forward to that. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure the fact that Iga got really tested against Eva Lise is going to put her in a good position. Lemons better be careful early on, but I do enjoy watching Lemons play. She'll run. There'll be some long extended rallies. But in terms of the actual bigger overall picture from the 10,000 view that we're looking at, it is the fact that Australia will take on Poland in that quarterfinal on Friday night. You can get your tickets here at the Ken Rosewall Arena. Belgium against Czechia is the other match here in Sydney, and then over on the west coast of Australia in Perth today you got the USA, Greece, and you got Switzerland against Argentina. The last 8 all set as we look to crown in well, what is that, in a few days' time, the 4th champion here of the United Cup.